Hey guys, welcome to Wagwan Apps, and today we're going to be talking about the Nest app. So I've got a few Nest devices, as you've seen from my previous videos. I've got two Nest thermostats downstairs, upstairs, and I've also got two Nest Protects in the house, which I'm just wanting to run you through some of the basic app settings, or the app stuff you can see in the app, just so you know what it means to have a Nest, some of the basic stuff that it gives you, right? So you can see it's lit up as home, and it gives you the current temperature and cloudy and rainy or whatever you want. But let's first have a look at the thermostat. So the thermostat, let's have a look at downstairs. So obviously the settings and the controls for both are the same, so we'll just look at one. So right now it's saying, it basically shows you exactly what the thermostat will show you. So it says on the downstairs thermostat, the temperature in the room is, or in the hallway, I guess it is 21.5, and the current heat is set to 21. So when the hallway goes below 21, or reaches 21, when it goes down to that, then the Nest thermostat will activate the boiler to turn the heating on. Okay, you can also see here 45% humidity in the house. So the Nest thermostat's got all these fancy sensors. The outside temperature is 10 degrees. If you want, you can just turn it on and off, so you can put it into eco mode. Can you see that? You can just turn it off completely if you want, like that, or I'll put it back to heat. I will have a look at the schedules, or the schedules, whichever way you like to say it. There's some settings for it too, which you can also configure on the thermostat itself, but it's a bit easier to use your phone, because when you're typing stuff out on the thermostat, you have to turn the dial, so it's not as natural as typing out on your phone, but it still gets the job done. So home and away assist is on. So this is where sensors and stuff will automatically set your home to eco temperatures. You can if you can just about read that. Most of the time, 99.9% of the time, there's someone always in my house, so I never really use it. But for people who, if there's 1 or 2 people living in a house and they're at work or whatever, they can set their boiler to automatic eco mode. So the Nest thermostat has motion sensors built in, so it can detect when someone walks past, or someone's in the house, and it will also use the Nest Protect motion sensors as well, as an additional bit of information to decide on whether to put the house on eco mode in terms of away settings or not. So you can see I've got home and away on, but I don't really set it to away at all, or I don't let it set automatically. My eco temperatures are set at 10.5, which obviously very efficient, saves you energy. Nest Sense, just a few settings. Time to temperature, you can see it estimates. It's quite an intelligent thing, so it tries to estimate how long it will take for your house to get to a certain temperature, and you can also set the default, which is right now 5 hours, as maximum, so the system will preheat the house. So if you say I want it to be 21 degrees at 3 o'clock, and the Nest thinks it will take 2 hours to get to 21 degrees, it will start the boiler up an hour, 2 hours beforehand. So by 3 o'clock, your room's at 21 degrees. So it does a preheating thing, which is really, really cool. There's a few other settings. I don't know what they all are. Equipment, just some basic information. I've got a combi boiler, which is based on gas, the radiator, blah, blah, blah. Some technical info. And that's that basic setting stuff. So let's say I want to turn up my boiler temperature, or I want to turn it up to like 23. Let's say 23. There you go, 23.5. So it's up to 23, right? Let's see if we can get rid of this glare. There we go. So now you see it's gone orange. Now the thermostat downstairs would have also got orange, meaning that when it's orange, it means that the heating is on. And when it's black, like it was before, it means the heating is off. So I'm going to turn it back off. You'll see it will probably go back off, because it says, alright, look, you're already at 21 roughly. Or it will in a minute anyway. Let's go down to 20.5. So the room temperature is 21, but we want the heating to activate at 20.5. There you go. So it's gone off. So the thermostat will be reacting right now in the same way. So it's really handy. You can do it from anywhere. You can do it from work. You can do it from on holiday, or if you're traveling, you're going to be home in an hour, you can turn the boiler on. So you can turn the heating on, so you know that by the time you get home, the house will be nice and warm. It's good when you've got kids or pets and things like that as well. So it's really, really cool. So here we also have a scheduling setup, or a scheduling. So let's go to landscape. So you can see, for Monday I've got specific settings. So at 5:30 turn on at 5:30 to 21 degrees, and then at 9:30 stay at 21 degrees, which is a bit silly, but I probably just need to revise my planning a bit. And then the key one is at 10:30 at night switch to 13, which is eco mode, so there's no one really downstairs anymore, so there's no point having the boiler running or the heating running at full blast for downstairs. So I've got a zone system in the house, and there's one thermostat for each zone. Here you can see on Saturdays I've got it 21 in the morning. I don't really need that one, I guess. 22, I don't really need that one, I guess, as well. 21 will cover it, but then the key one is that in the evening switch it to 13. Basically you're saying turn it off, and if it gets absolutely freezing and it drops below 13, then the heating will switch on to maintain 13 degrees. Okay, and this is obviously running on Android, and I'm sure on iPhone, on iOS, it's probably virtually the same. So you can set up your complete weekly timetable for the boiler, for the heating system, for downstairs. Just for downstairs, remember that. So we're just talking about the downstairs one. The upstairs one will have its own schedule because we have a zone system, like I said. The other really cool thing with the Nest app is you can monitor the history. So you can see, if I can zoom in, you can see it gives you the date, Sunday the 8th, right? And it says the downstairs heating was on for a total of 9 hours. So here it gives you the breakdown or the split. So it was on between these times, on and off, on and off. So it was on and off. So it's just trying to maintain the heat up until 10:30, where it switches to 13 degrees if you look. Okay, and if you see there's a little cloud icon, if you look at it, it goes, this day's weather caused the energy usage below the weekly average, which is very cool. So it means that it was, Sunday was actually a much warmer day. It was like 10, 11, 12 degrees during the day, so I'm not surprised the heating was on less. So it's actually quite intelligent from that perspective. And you can see there's a breakdown for lots and lots of every single day, 8 hours this day. And even here on the bottom you can see on Friday the 30th it was on for 15 hours. It's practically on max, yeah. So it was on for that complete stint. If we go back, if we go to there and we say, okay, but what does this mean? Hold on. Your adjustment. So someone manually increased the temperature on the thermostat. That's what it's saying. So it was a manual intervention. So it's probably my mum, because I think around that time it was probably Christmas, and it's like 1 degrees -1 outside. So she probably turned it up a bit to keep the house going. So you can see it's practically maxed out. So it's really intelligent in the sense you can see what your weekly usage is, or the last couple of days. It looks like well over a week actually of information, and because it's a little bit more intelligent, it's supposed to be much more energy efficient. So you're saving on energy costs. So you're not having the house heated when you're not home, or when the temperatures well above 20, 21, 22. Your boiler's not on all the time. So it is extremely handy to have, and it's a really good way to save energy and monitor your energy usage. So you can see here all the settings per day. You can see I can have a breakdown of what I want. How cool is that, right? So that's one of the, I would say, the basic advantages of having a Nest thermostat, and the fact that you can control it from your phone, or probably from the Nest website, I guess, as well. I'm not sure if you can do that, but there's apps on iOS, there's apps for Android, so it's not really a big deal, to be honest. It just kind of works. So like I said, and you can see I've got the upstairs one. It's the exact same thing, same kind of different kind of schedule, slightly different. There you go, different timetable for upstairs. So and the history is separate for upstairs. You can see it's on actually a lot more, because we keep it on around 18 degrees overnight, because it's been pretty cold. So if it gets too cold, you're going to freeze yourself in the bed. So we keep it around 18 degrees at night. On here again it says, you can see it was practically maxed out between the schedule that was set, and the reason for that was because the day's weather caused energy usage above the average, above the weekly average. So it was really cold on those days, along those quite a few of those. For the whole week it was freezing. It was like during the mornings it was like -3, during the day it was like 1, 2. So the heating was running at full power to keep the house going. So that's quite cool. Rather than just having everything on all at the same time. And like I said, it's zoned, so we don't have to have the whole house heated all the time. We can just turn on upstairs, we can just turn on downstairs. So there's, there's valves running for each pipe going upstairs and downstairs, and then the thermostat controls when that valve opens and when that valve closes. Okay, so that's a zoned system using two Nest learning thermostats, which is pretty cool, right? And now recently I added the Nest Protects. Okay, so I've got two, one upstairs, one downstairs. It's really cool the way you can just name them or pick a location. They give you lots of pre-selected locations like living room, upstairs, downstairs, hallway, blah 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 blah. But right now it says everything is A-OK. And if we look at the status, my ones are battery operated, so they're really easy to fit. So downstairs everything is okay. Sensors were last checked 20 hours ago. Now if you have a mains powered one, the checks will be more regular because they're running on power. In the case of the battery ones, they're a bit more intelligent in terms of when and how often they check, because to conserve battery usage. I mean, on batteries, it takes 6 lithium-ion long-life batteries, which probably last quite a few years. I think they're supposed to last up to 5 years or something like that. So it's pretty coul. If we flip over to the next one, so you can see the upstairs one is the same. Upstairs, downstairs. So you can have as many of these as you want, and they all kind of communicate. Like I said, the Nest Protects also have motion sensors, so they work in conjunction with the thermostat to tell the thermostat to switch to away mode or home mode or whatever, depending on if they detect movement in the house, which means that someone's at home. Yep. So we also have a checkup page. I've not tried this properly. Make sure you're near a second generation Nest Protect, then tap continue. Alright, I don't want to do that right now. So you can run a test. I probably should do that at some point just to make sure they make a noise. You can have a look at the history. So let's look at the history for upstairs or downstairs, I should say. You can see it says okay, everything is sweet. There was no major smoke events or CO2 events. But if you tap on this, right, and I do this, it says the path light was on 4 times between 12:33 and 12:44. Now, what is the path light? Well, all the Nest Protects have this intelligent, because they can detect movement at night when there's no light in the hallway or wherever they're situated. If they detect movement, you can have the pathway light, or the path light as it says, turned on. So it's like a little glowing blue ring, and it just lights up the room just enough so you can actually see where you're going. And it's really cool. My kids love it. So at night when they need to go bathroom, they can see where they're going. It doesn't freak them out. The first time it came on, I mean, they were like, what the hell is that? And then they realized, it's just there for their benefit. But you can see it gives you a breakdown of when the path lights were on and stuff. And obviously, if in the case of the battery one, it only turns on when it detects motion to save battery. But I think the power ones may be able to last a bit longer, or stay on a bit longer. I don't know if they can be on permanently at night, but maybe they can. But the battery one will only turn on when it detects movement. So you can see the history of when the path light was turned on. If I just touch that one there, path light was on 5 times, blah 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 blah. So it's really cool. But in general, everything was okay. There was no major smoke event or any kind of incident that occurred in the house. Everything was cool, as you can see. And you can obviously run all the tests. You get notified if the batteries are low. It's a much more intelligent way of managing your smoke alarms and running regular tests. The Nest Protects actually talk to you. They don't just beep randomly and you're trying to figure out what the hell does that beep mean. Is it the battery low? Is there something wrong? Is it detecting CO2? Is it detecting smoke? No, they talk to you. So they're much more intelligent, and they just make your life a little easier. The other thing I would like to say is right now I don't have any Nest cameras right now. So if I go add a Nest product, for example, you can add more thermostats, more Nest Protects. You can add the Nest Cam, you can add the Drop Cam Pro, the Drop Cam. So those, I don't have the cams now, but I probably will at some point, or unless Nest would like to send me some to review, that would be great. If Nest would do that, but right now I don't have those. I don't need them right now, but I probably will get some just to keep an eye in the house. And the app with those extra cameras and stuff, the app is even more intelligent. You can see, if you have the app in the hallway, it will show you that this hall, if the thermostat is also based in the hallway, it will show you an image of the hallway or a video live feed of the hallway, and also show you that the current hallway temperature is this, blah 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 blah, because the Nest thermostat is also situated in there. So what I'd like to say is that so far my experience with Nest has been great. Everything just seems to work. It is a technical marvel in itself, but you don't have to really worry about the nitty-gritty of it. It's supposed to be easy to use, and to be honest, it is. For anyone who's phone savvy or not phone savvy, anyone who knows how to run and install an app, it's straightforward. Come on, it's just, look, if I want to up the boiler, there you go, blah blah blah, there you go, 23 degrees, thing will power up. It will activate the valve, and the heating for downstairs will then power up any second. You'll see it go orange. It's just syncing it through. Alright, disconnected from the net. It's logging me back in, I think. But oh look, it lost connectivity, so let's try again. Oh, okay, probably lost something, but like I said, it's pretty straightforward in general. But I would definitely recommend it if you can get hold of a Nest thermostat. If you're getting your boiler installed or you want a new thermostat, I would recommend switching to Nest if you can. It just makes things a lot easier. I know there's other systems like Hive which are supposed to be quite good, but the way the Nest works and the actual build quality of the Nest thermostat and the Nest Protect is solid. It's solid. It is wicked. It's not no cheap smoke alarm. It's nothing like that. It's very well built, and they look quite stylish as well in your hallway, in your room. You know, I've got one on a stand, as I said. Yeah, I've lost connectivity. I've got one on a stand, as I said, in the bedroom for upstairs, when the other one's stuck in a hallway, and it works wicked. So I would highly recommend them. And if Nest want to send me the drop cam or one of the Nest cams, I'll be happy to add it to this app and review that for them as well. That'd be great. Thanks a lot for watching. Peace out. Make sure you like and sub the video and keep in touch, and we'll hopefully have some more content coming your way. Peace out.